play Dragon Quest 11 after all these years. And after a freaking year of waiting, more than a year of waiting, I think, compared to the Japanese version, we finally got Dragon Quest 11. Well, I got Dragon Quest 11. The game is officially coming out in 2 or 3 days. I got it yesterday, and I was kind of pissed, because, you know, I was just thinking like, oh, the game is gonna come out when it comes out. And I actually got some days off from work to actually play it. So I had arranged a road trip through a different province with a couple of friends of mine yesterday. And yesterday I got the game in the mail. So I was like, oh shit, I want to play the game, but you know, I already made a arrangement for a road trip. So I could finally play the game a little bit after I was done with the road trip, and now I'm gonna play it a lot more. Mama Monsters! Okay. Really?
Go on! Don't give up! Get him! Tough little blighters, aren't they?
The slimes are defeated. Finally, a real RPG where you don't do 60 billion damage and get 20 trillion of money to buy a gear that is $70 billion or gold pieces or whatever kind of currency they use. Just a normal traditional RPG where you get a couple of experience points and a couple of gold. This is where I came from. Don't know if the sound is too loud. No.
Tough little blighters, aren't they? I'm so proud of you!
Ah, a traditional level up system.
blighters, aren't they?
Bam. Head.
Phew.
Will I respawn? Woof. Right here. Good stuff. And traditional RPG chemistry. Maybe later. Alright, that's not fair.
Crikey! Go on!
Hey, what's up, Open Alpha 01?
Get him!
How you doing?
Tough little blighters, aren't they? Look at all this fog. Is this normal, do you think? Help! What? Cole? Quick! It's not fog at all. It's more monsters.
Nope.
Go on! Buttons! Get him! Phew.
40.
Well done!
Level up again! Ah, cool.
I'm sorry, Gemma. I only came up here because I thought it'd be funny to jump out and surprise you. But then those monsters appeared.
Well, I haven't really built anything for quite a while, but I was
What
working
in the world is going on?
the.
I never heard anything about
I don't even know
monsters
the name of
appearing
the
on the tour
Gundam, but
before.
it was a real great Gundam, so it was a a bit more complicated than the other Gundams I build, and it
But
was a
never
really
mind
cool
that
one.
now.
It's like red with
Whatever were you thinking?
with white.
You could have been killed.
like a
You
samurai,
take
like a
Sandy
samurai
and get back
Gundam.
to the village this instant.
And I got the legs, and I got the I think the waist part done. But
yes,
I
Gemma.
have been really busy
Sorry,
lately,
Gemma.
especially with work. I've worked a lot more hours.
You saved
more
my
hours.
bacon again.
So
I
and
knew
I've
you
been,
were tough,
you know,
but
busy with
crikey,
friends and busy with
You really
my
have
car
grown
and
into
stuff.
quite the hero.
I actually, I don't know even know how late it is. Wait up 5 seconds. Okay.
Now?
So it's 22 minutes past 8 in the morning, and like about 12 o'clock,
Typical.
11 o'clock,
It would
I'll
have
be
to go and
going
start raining,
shopping
wouldn't it?
for
Come
food
on, let's get a
for the
move
next
on.
week. Then I'm gonna get my car to my parents' house. I'm gonna clean it. So I'm not even going to play this game the entire day, but I'm gonna play it a lot. So I've been really busy, and that's also the reason why my backlog of new games is dramatically big. I honestly can't remember the last time I got games, especially RPGs, and just haven't really been into it. You know, no time to play it. I still have like Shenmue, Ps4 I'm still working on, Shining Force Resonance. Now of course I got Dragon Quest, and that game, like Ps4 I've played a lot, and Dragon Quest will probably be played a lot too. But it's definitely the first time where there were a couple of games that I was highly anticipating and just have no time to really play it, or too tired to play it. Yeah, this is my second car now. I don't remember if you've seen my video, but I got a BMW Z3, a 1996 1.9, and in black. So it's my second car, and it's hopefully the car that I'll be driving in for quite a while. And after that car, I'm actually also already thinking, because of course I have to, you know, save up now. But the Z4 also looks pretty cool. And the Z4 you can tune it more, customize it more, to make it look like a race car. And that's something that you can't really do with a Z3. But you probably don't want to do it with a Z3, because in 2 years it's going to be an old-timer, so you don't really want to customize a car like that. Where with the Z4, it's more like a modern car, so... And I've seen pictures of the Z4 being tuned to be a racing car, and holy shit, that looks fucking cool. But that's something, holy shit, for maybe like 4 years, 5 years, 3 years. It depends on when I'm tired of driving this car. But at the moment, I am definitely not. But I wash it every week, because it's black. So it's gonna be dirty very fast. Hey, what's up, Skip Bailey's? PS4 has the best games, but
Here we
remember,
are
this
at
is not a
last.
PS4 exclusive. The game is also going to come out on the Nintendo Switch, probably not in this state. It probably will be downgraded heavily. And it's also available on the PC. But in general,
It's such a shame
you know,
about
if
the
you
weather.
combine the
I was
third-party
really looking
games,
forward to that
the
for you.
indie games, the exclusives, PS4 is definitely the place to be and with the Switch, because Nintendo also makes great games, but lately they haven't really pushed anything that I'm like, oh yeah, I want this. I mean, yes, you're gonna get, what's that game called? Fire Emblem. That looks really cool. Fire Emblem generally looks like a game I'll probably will enjoy a lot, but lately, you know, like Spider-Man is going to come out, and let's hope the game is going to be good. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. Probably not going to get it. You know, I still have. I think it's now my gaming debt is like 416 euros instead of 700. So you know, I'm getting there. Make it zero, and when my personal gaming debt is zero, I can buy new games. And to be honest, I kind of don't want to, because as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there are a couple of new games that I got, and I haven't really played them besides Ys 8. It's the only game I've really played. I'm like 30 hours into the game. But you know, Shenmue, Shining, is it Shining Force? I think it's Shining Force. Where's the game actually? Yeah, Shining Force Resonance.
That great big flash of lightning.
Also a game I got that I haven't really played.
Like you made it happen.
Nobody knows when Dragon Quest XI is coming to the Switch. Square Enix is kind of itchy about it. You know, they're saying, oh, we have problems, and I think the last thing they said was the game is,
look,
you know,
the
being
mark
built.
On your hand.
It's going fine right now. I think it's, you know, the hardware of the Nintendo Switch, don't get me wrong, the Switch is it's a great system, it's really fun, it has incredible games, and it has potential to be legendary. If Nintendo just steps up their game...
You saved me yet again. I don't know what I'd do without you.
The Nintendo Switch could be a legendary system at the end. Because it's a hybrid.
We really had better be finishing up this ceremony.
A handheld. And there probably will be like a Switch Pro that's going to be stronger and stuff. But at the moment,
of Cobbles, lift your voices up in prayer.
Compared to Ps4,
sing it across all
especially
our
Pro and Xbox One X,
blessed are we since
it's
days
a
of
really
yore.
weak
Let it be
system.
so forevermore.
So a game like Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy or, you know, stuff like God of War is going to be incredibly hard to make on the Switch. So it probably will be heavily downgraded.
Wow,
look! Same with Ys 8. Like, I was kind of hyped for Ys 8 on the Switch. I was like, this game could easily be played at 1080p, 60 frames, no downgrades.
It just goes on and on and on.
It has been heavily downgraded to a point
Whoever
where I
dreamed up
found
this ceremony
it very
must have had
annoying
this
to
in
play.
mind.
And I got the
They
PS4
wanted to show
version.
us how huge our world really is. Well, that's it. It's all over and now we're grown-ups. Should we head down and tell Grandad? They'll all be waiting for us at the bottom.
You know, when it comes to RPGs, I don't know how or when or why, but I still cannot understand how the transition between the style of PS2 RPGs we had, games like this, that puts you onto a grand adventure and, you know, having a incredible storyline, characters and world building. How the transition between that type of RPG and all of a sudden on PS3 they were making stuff, you know, with fan service and Stuff like Hyperdimension Neptunia, you know, wacky storylines, wacky characters, click on an icon world, 50 billion damage, 20 trillion, you know, gold. I don't understand how they could do that. How they could just switch and say, oh, we're now going to make these type of RPGs. And I understand that the Japanese developers were just really hard on the new generation, or you know, when HD came out, and a lot of them made really good RPGs on PSP and on the 3D and on the DS and now on 3DS. So I'm really hoping, to be honest, that this game also in the West is going to sell a lot. Just like Octopath Traveler that sold a lot, and Square Enix has now officially confirmed that yes, they are going to make more traditional RPGs. I really hope that this game is gonna do the same and shows Square Enix and shows all the Japanese developers that if they make a big quality game, people are going to buy it. That genre hasn't died out. What's up, Brian? He wrote, they want to keep the texture of the game of the old ways. You mean with Dragon Quest 11? I mean, if that's what you're trying to say, that the developers from Dragon... Because you have to understand that the developing team of Final Fantasy and of Dragon Quest are different teams. So the guys who made Final Fantasy 15 has not made Dragon Quest 11. So that's a good point to keep in mind too. But if that's, you know, if that's the case, if the team of Dragon Quest just says, you know, we're not going to innovate, we're going to just make a traditional RPG, then, you know, let them do it.
Indeed you are, my dear. Thank the spirits for that. When we saw lightning striking up there, we got a little worried, I have to tell you.
Yes, because Akira Toriyama is the character designer for Dragon Quest.
Well,
and he's the same character designer of
Sounds like it's
Dragon
nothing
Ball.
short of a miracle that
What's
you
up,
made
Boris
it back
Dick
in one
Squares,
piece.
Alex Jones? Is there a 60 frames option? That is kind of a good
There's
question,
no doubt
because
about it.
if I
The spirit
clearly
of the
remember,
land was watching over you.
Square Enix said that this game is going to run at 60 frames. But I clearly see
Now
it
tell
running
me,
at 30.
my dear,
It doesn't matter though,
was
because it's a
wonderful.
turn-based combat.
I saw the
So,
sea stretch into the horizon,
you know,
and the sunlight
but
playing on
it
the
probably
water.
does not
and-
have a 60 frames
Oh,
option. You
I've never
probably
seen
need to get the
anything like it
PC
in
version
my life.
for that.
You're true Cobblestonians now. Only we have the pleasure of looking out over the world of Erdrea in such breathtaking fashion, you know. You're still young, and the day may yet come when you decide to leave Cobblestone behind. I hope our little ceremony has opened your eyes to a little of what may await you out there. Now, it's high time we were heading back. I'm sure your mother is eager to hear how things went, young man. Don't keep poor Amber and...
Come on, you.
Home track. Yes. I think I remember Dragon Quest VIII. That's the last real Dragon Quest I played. That there was sort of... was it like melding or crafting in the game? Like, if there's one thing in Dragon Quest that I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I'm not a big fan of, is the music. You know, it's not bad music, but I'm not a huge fan of the way everything sounds in Dragon Quest. Every Dragon Quest game has it. I don't know, how do you say it? Like, it's the orchestrest, whatever type of music. We can jump. This is really what I miss in a lot of RPGs. Is going to a town, opening up doors, buying stuff, walking around. You know, world building. Something that Xenoblade Chronicles does really good. That's why I love that game. Yes, Japanese orchestra. As I mentioned, you know, the music is good, but in my personal opinion, it kind of feels always sort of the same. Like, if I listen to this music, I'm like, I've heard this. You know, on Dragon Quest Heroes 1, Dragon Quest Heroes 2, Dragon Quest 8, you know, Dragon Quest Builders. It probably isn't the same music, but that's kind of what I always think in Dragon Quest. It may be really weird. And in that sense, I do like more of the traditional ping-pong sort of music, like with keyboards and stuff. But it's not bad music, that's not what I'm saying. Head home? Oh, head to your home in Cobblestone. Okay. Let's do that first. Yeah, I know. I know it's kind of the same music, and it kind of defines Dragon Quest. It's not bad, but it's the only point where I'm like, I agree. A good loot, crafting, skill development, you know, character building, customization is incredibly important in an RPG. Woof woof. My house.
Oh! Here's my little soldier. Well, not so little anymore. I've heard all about your big adventure. I hope he wasn't too much of a bother.
Quite the opposite, in fact. You would have been proud of him. We got attacked by a monster at the top of the tour, and I ended up hanging onto the edge of the cliff by my fingertips. But you'll never guess what happened next. That mark on his hand suddenly lit up, and a bolt of light...
What did you say? That funny little mark? Lightning flying about the... Here I was hoping he'd turn out nice and ordinary, but it seems his grandfather... Well, I've been putting this off for long enough now. Here. Your grandfather asked me to give you it once you'd come of age and climbed the tour. The truth is, there's something I've been keeping a secret all the... It's... How can I put this now? You're the reincarnation of the luminary.
What?
Oh, don't ask me what the old fool meant, dear. I haven't got the foggiest. All I know is that your grandfather said you had a special destiny, and that there was something you had to do.
Lufia. Those are, I think, Super Nintendo games, right? But I mean, back in the day, like, a lot of game developers went bankrupt on the PS3 era.
He
Especially
said that when you
smaller
came of
Japanese
age,
ones.
you were to head north to the capital, up there in Heliodor, and show that necklace thingy to the king. He seemed to think that if you did that, all would become clear. Anyway, the long and short of it is that if you want to find out what this is all about...
Crikey.
Well, I can't stop you leaving, I'm sure, but you won't be marching on an empty stomach. Come on, dinner.
He leaves. Yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 is also going to be one of those RPGs that's probably going to feel old school. Like, you know, yes, this is a game I want. This is how I want this game. And you know, now that Japanese developers are getting more known to HD, and you know, especially financially, you know, stuff like Sega and Platinum, they have made some really big games, and you know, Shenmue is coming up. So they also have a lot more funds than they had on the PS3 days. You know, we're probably going to see, hopefully, a lot more of bigger traditional RPGs, bigger traditional Japanese games. And to be honest, we are already seeing that with stuff like Neo 2, you know, Bloodborne, Sekiro, the new game coming out from the guys behind Dark Souls. You know, so, and we're gonna see at Tokyo Game, like, Grand Blue Fantasy, holy shit, looks incredibly. So, hopefully we're gonna see more at Tokyo Game Show. But, I mean, the whole revival of the Japanese gaming market, or you know, whatever, how you want to say it in the West, especially in the West, I think we're really going to see the effect, the impact on the next generation. You know, where we probably will see a lot more bigger games than we have now. Final Fantasy VII. I'm a big supporter of Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I don't think it will be released on the era of the PS4. Because next year they probably will announce PlayStation 5, and I truly believe that Square Enix is kind of working on on like, hey, we're gonna make the game for PlayStation 5 or Xbox 2 or 2.4 or 2X, whatever, how they want to call their new system. You know, the game could potentially also come out on PS4, but it will be, you know, probably not as good as on PlayStation 5. I truly hope that, you know, Sony is going to push the CPU more, making sure that we finally have 60 frames on every game.
Oh, can't sleep either. You remember this tree, don't you? I got my scarf stuck in it all those years ago. There I was, crying like mad, and there you were, running round trying to help me get it down. You know, I always imagined we'd spend our whole lives right here in Cobble. That's why I was so surprised by what your mum said today. All that stuff about you being the luminary, that...
Really? So you would pick graphics over a solid frame rate?
I remember the story my granddad told me.
I don't, to be honest.
Once upon a time,
if a game
long
runs
ago,
fluid,
the world was terrorized by
it's
a
a lot more
horrible
fun
monster.
to play.
But then, the
Because
luminary
graphically,
appeared and saved the day.
games, like, if you look at God of War, the
When
game
it was all
looks
over,
spectacular.
the luminary turned into
The
a
only
star.
annoyance
And he's been watching over us from up in the heavens ever
that I had
since.
is like, oh, the game doesn't really run super fluid. It runs fluid, but not super fluid. And lucky on PS4 Pro, you
That's
had an
his
option
star, right there.
to have higher frame rates, and then all of a sudden you saw that the game played a lot better. But storyline is really a different story.
How can you be the luminary
You know,
too?
you cannot compare
I just
storyline
don't
with
get
frame
it.
rates. Because the one thing is just writing, and the other thing is technical. And graphics is also technical.
I know. That's what you're going to Heliodor
So
to
I
find
would
out.
have loved,
I understand, really I
you
do.
know, that Sony pushes the CPU more. Because we already have
Listen,
incredible graphics.
we should both be getting back. Everyone will be wondering where we...
But I do
Goodbye,
understand what you mean.
old friend.
It doesn't matter how good or fluid the game looks or runs, if the gameplay and the characters, the storyline, whatever sucks, then it's still a sucky game.
Just
So
look
I've been
at
playing
you.
it for about an hour.
You don't
and
scrub up too bad, you know. Only wish your grandfather
Well,
were here to see you.
The game at the moment is great.
You won't forget
Just like every
him, will you?
RPG,
He
it
was
takes a
fine,
long time to really get
upstanding
into
man,
it.
The pride of the village. You could do worse than try to be like him. however you turn out, I'm sure you'll find a way to overcome whatever lies ahead. A mother knows these things.
Well,
By
it is
the
a
way,
traditional
I popped a little
Dragon
money I'd
Quest.
saved for a rainy day in your pack.
You
Don't
know?
spend it all at once.
So if you love the traditional art, like Dragon Quest 8 is my first Dragon Quest, it kind of feels the same.
Why don't you visit the village shop before you head off to Heliodor? You'll need some, but don't take too long. The whole village is turning out to wave you up.
It's like For Honor. I definitely understand what you're trying to say. That you know, good gameplay, storyline, characters. They are much more important than having great graphics or, you know, having a, I don't know, because a fluid flow, a fluid game is really important. If you would play like, I don't know, for example, like a game like Devil May Cry, you know, that is heavily on fast-paced action combat, big combos and stuff, really flashy. If that game would have frame rate issues, it would not be really enjoyable to play. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, a lot of games have that, but a big example is Nier Automata. I first played it on the Ps4, and you had a lot of frame rate problems. I'm like, it's no fun to play. So I got the Ps4 Pro, and it was 60 frames, and the game is awesome. So the only thing I'm saying is that I hope Sony is going to have a better CPU on the new generation to at least, if you have the 1080p option, to have 60 frames. If they have like 4K at 30 and 1080p at 60, I'll be perfectly fine still playing 1080p. Nier is awesome. Really cool game. Okay. I just own it on PS4. I don't have a pad. I do have Resident Evil 7. I don't have VR anymore. I did buy it at launch, but I haven't played it. I haven't played the new Resident Evil one. When I had VR, I had the demo of Resident Evil 7. You know the demo with where you're sitting in a chair and that girl pops up. That was pretty freaky too. So I can definitely understand that a game like Resident Evil in VR could be, you know, pretty scary. Oh no, yeah. I'm your biggest fan. Ga werken. Because I have connections. I actually got the game yesterday, but I couldn't play it. I was driving, I was out. I was home. But I have connections. That's why I can get games a lot sooner. Ew. Natalie, ew. Down the slope. Bye, bitch. Ooh. Oh no, I'm on 0. Potlet. Okay, so you play sport games on Xbox. Okay. I don't play sport games at all. Well, racing games. I have like Gran Turismo and Drive Club. Racing games are pretty cool, but that's it. Where's my bandana? No, not over. Ah, okay. Maximum HP is lower. I don't have a 4K television, so I can't even watch 4K movies. And it all depends on the new generation of systems, if I'm even going to get a 4K television at all.
One day you're just a little boy, the next you're getting ready to leave us. I only wish your grandfather could see what a fine young... To think, it's been so many years already since old Chalky found you floating... I mean, since he brought you to Cobblestone. We never thought there was anything out of the ordinary about you. And now suddenly there's all this talk of luminaries of... You know who the luminary was, of course. A legendary hero who saved the world from a terrible darkness. We're supposed to believe that you're him reincarnated? I don't doubt old Chalky, of course, but it's a little hard to swallow, I must say. When you
I'm
meet
going
the
to fight,
King of
but
Heliodor,
the game doesn't
put
allow
in
me.
a good word for old Cobblestone, won't you, eh? If he finds out this is the village where the luminary was raised...
Oh, you are terrible. Trust you to be thinking about what you can get out of it.
Oh, no, I'm only joking, of course. The very thought. Yes. Now, the fate that awaits you may well, but you must allow us to offer what little assistance we can. Take this map of Erdrea with you.
Horsey!
And may this magnificent steed, the pride of Cobblestone, lighten your burden and speed you on your... You'll find Heliodor easily enough. Just...
You travel safely now. Oh, you're such a good boy, such a good boy. You make us proud.
Wait!
Don't go!
Here. It'll keep you safe. I heard there are lots... Oh, I don't know what's in store for you out there. But wherever you go, and take care, and
Ooh, that looks like a really big map! Just like the old days. Stuff. Oh, so there was something. chest. Oh no. Oh, almost next level. Stark Raven. Okay. Level up. Treasure. Nothing. Critical hit. Die, little slime. Oh no, group training. Execute the next level, 71. Oh yeah, I do remember on Dragon Quest 8 that you needed a huge amount of grinding to level up. I remember that, yes. Wasn't there like a special, I think it was like a gold golem or something that gave you a lot of experience, but they were really rare. But I'm a grinding sucker. What? 2 experience points, really? I also like that when you buy different outfits or different gear and armor, that you actually see the difference in your character. I love that. That is really cool. That gives you a bigger immersion into the world and the characters, in my opinion. I always hated that in older RPGs. Now I understand why, but I still hated that when, you know, you got like a really cool new armor, but you really didn't see it. It's the same with Ys 8. Like, you get all these different armors, but you don't really see the armor on the character. Is the king? They give a lot more experience. Out in the open world. Oh, it's a castle. Interest. Group full combos. Skill points. Huh. Huh. Oh, Luminaria. Cool. Okay. Down.
Ho, what have we here? I know a budding adventurer when It can be risky heading into the great outdoors if you aren't familiar with the basics of survival, you know. Well, see the remains of that fire over there? Well, when you spy one of those, it means you can set up camp and rest your weary bones. To settle down for the night, just go up to the fire and examine it. You'll see... What's that? You're worried about being attacked by That statue over there is chock full of holy powers that'll keep the beasties at bay for as long as you... And that's not all. You can pray to it to be cured of poison and all kinds of other things. Anyway, enough of my yammering. Why don't you take a closer look at... You'll need to get used to what campsites look like and how to find them. After all, you'll be It's like my old dad always said. Keen campers can continue on where others can't. Be prepared. Well, that's all from me. If you have any camping-related queries, feel free to ask.
Okay. Don't mind if I do. Fair. Yeah. I knew it! I freaking knew you could do this. Strong medicine. There's not a lot of water in the water level. And How the hell are there pavements here? Funny. Oh well. Ah, the horse is gone. Gone is the horse. Fire. Oh, maybe the guy lives here. Oh, okay. Settled for the night. Oh, until night you can rest. Oh, that's cool. It's a nighttime cycle. Dawn. Dun, dun. Oh, that is pretty cool. To have a day and night cycle. If that is the case. Hungry. Holy shit. Yeah, do you see the charm too, or? Easy peasy. Woo! Mining. Ha! I'm not joking. You can actually mine. That was pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Big, wide, open sea. Oh no. Just a small stream. Coast, Helior Castle. Bunny tail. Oh, soldier encampment. Okay. What can I steal? Ah! No. Now run away. Ah, yes, I know. That mini game you had on Dragon Quest VIII, where you could fight in the arena with monsters, like sort of a Pokemon-ish mini game. I remember that. That would be pretty cool. Ooh, yes. Don't know if that's in the game, to be honest. Critical hit. Tame, not take stupid predictive text. What? What? Oh, you could tame monsters. That's what you meant. Yeah. I understand what you meant. I think you also had that in Rogue Galaxy, but it was more like insects. You could take or tame. Oh. New monster. Toadie. Toadie died. Goodbye, Toadie. Do I need? Oh, only 22. Cool. Lucky oldie. Oh? Sorry. On fire. Yay! Minnesota. That is pretty cool. Armor! Weapons! Open the gate! Level armor. Not enough money? Oh! Holy shit! Some stuff. grind even more. Okay. What's that? Later big city. Gold! Gold!
Halt! Not so fast.
State your business.
Here, shake my hand, mate. That's the funniest one I've heard all.
Clear off, will ya? We haven't got time for this kind of nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
What's that? You want to show that?
Do you mind... Wait.
Huh? Ever so sorry for that little misunderstanding. Play...
Welcome to the machine. Cool armor.
That will be quite close enough. Welcome to Heliodor Castle, friend.
The Jewel of Dundrasil. You are bold indeed to have made your way here alone, wanderer. I am Carnelian, ruler of Heliodor. How long have I waited for this day? The fact that you come here proffering the jewel and asking to speak with me personally would... I take it that you also bet. Yes, the mark. Rejoice, dear subjects! The day is upon us at last. The luminary walks among us once more. Tell me, O luminary, where exactly is it that you hail from? I would so very much like to pay tribute to the...
I see. I do, my liege. A village of provincial nobody's deep in the Rockies.
Then I take it you know what to do.
Yes.
Kill everything.
Accursed luminary! I know not what your intent was in coming here alone, but whatever your wicked scheme, know that it shall not...
Ha! It was predictable.
Hendrik, take this cur, this harbinger of calamity, and cast him into the furthest corner of the dungeon. Know this. The luminary is the root of all evil and will bring naught but misery to our realm. And why is this? The reason is simple. Just as light is intertwined with darkness, so too is the luminary intertwined with the dread lord of shadows. His coming heralds the resurrection.
Did you really think you could fool one as wise as His Majesty? It was your great misfortune to confront one who knows your true man. Seize this wretch!
A dungeon.
You claim to hail from Cobblestone. Well, before the sun has set 3 times, we shall know the truth. By then, Jasper will have returned from his investigation. If I were you, Darkspawn, I would not...
Will you keep it down in there? Most folks they throw in here have the decency to wait a while before going stir-crazy. What are you in for, anyhow? You don't get free bed and board down here without having done something pretty bad.
Wait, did you say the loom?
You're telling me the luminary has just shown up in the cell next to me?
One plate of delicious gruel for the gentleman in the dungeon suite. Coming?
The luminary. So it's all happening just like this. We'd better get out of here.
First open paths. Oh, nothing in it.
Huh? Wait here. Don't worry, I didn't kill him. But he won't be wait. Things should get pretty hairy up ahead. You'd better take this. Oh, and I found this in a corner over there. Me? I got this little beauty back, so now I'm... We better get out of here before any more of our tin-headed friends come knocking. Hollow, when you're ready to move...
Holler. No! Open the gate!
I spend ages digging this hole, and you just happen to show up the day I finish it? Heck of a coincidence. Guess I really was meant to help you out. Anyway, there'll be time to talk about all that. The sewers, huh? Well, there must be a way out somewhere.